listening to Cartoon Buffoons with Forte, that's me, and...
Mady G, that's me!
Hey, and that's both of us.
Yeah!
So right off the bat, we should probably apologize.
Why? We didn't miss a month, we're just a little late.
Oh, we're a little late, but we had made a promise last episode that we are not going to keep.
No, we're going to keep it. It's just that it's not the next episode. It's going to be like another.
We said we were going to watch Reboot and Food Fight and do bad CGI, but none of us want to watch that much bad CGI.
At least not at this short notice.
No, it's the holidays. Nobody wants to ruin the holidays with bad computer puns.
Well, I know a few, but not myself personally.
Oh,
but
we're gonna be full because I did watch half of that. I watched the first episode of Reboot, and so many computer puns. But regardless, that's gonna come at a later date. Today, the topics du jour are Ed, and Eddy, and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yes,
I know two of my personal favorite cartoons. And do you have any history of Ed, and Eddy? Because I strongly suspect that you specifically have been very influenced by Ed, and Eddy.
I have a wild history with Ed, and Eddy.
Okay, I'm strapped in. Let's go.
It's just one of my favorites. It's just all-time faves. I was enamored with it. Like when I just first saw it, it was the show that was on TV at the exact time I would come home from school. So I would be in middle school and come home and immediately Ed, and Eddy would be on. So I would go and eat an entire bag of chips and watch Ed, and Eddy until the next show came on. It was usually like 2 episode sets, so 4 episodes total. And I would just go hog wild and just absorb that content. And then I think my first fan fiction I wrote when I was a kid was...
Oh, I was just going to say, did you do, like, Rolf and Plank fan fiction?
No, I honestly, though, Rolf was, like, my favorite character. But, no, I did, like, it was a bad fanfic. It was, like, an anime Ed, and Eddy crossover fic, and, like, it was not good, and... It was not good. Like it was
anime Ed, and Eddy crossover.
Yeah, and not
what
even like
anime?
not even normal anime. Like I don't even because
like
I feel
Ed, and
like
Eddy and Yu Yu Hakusho or something.
No, and I'm saying like even more obscure. I don't even remember some of the anime. I just know that one of them was this anime comic party that like I guarantee like almost nobody's gonna know what that is.
I have no clue. It sounds interesting. I want to go to a comic party.
It's an anime / manga. There's another manga, but I think that they were made kind of independently of each other. But it was one of those, like, I don't know if self-referential would be the word, but, like, industry referential. So it was, like, about a guy who made comics and would go to comic conventions and sell his comics. And it was kind of, like, outlining the convention scene and what it's like being an independent comic artist in Japan. But... that makes it sound a lot better than it is. It's not that good. It's got all the like manga bullshit, like all those like all the old like manga tropes. Because this was from like early 2000s, late 90s kind of thing.
And what did Ed, and Eddy do in this anime crossover? Like
honestly, nothing. Like nothing happened. It was like, whoa, there's a portal to like anime land. Cool, we're in anime land.
I feel like that's a lot of like.
I think Double D died.
Oh my god!
I don't know. It was. I don't even.
Say it's a lot of like baby's first fan fiction, but I don't know if Double D died. Now you just threw a new wrinkle into it.
Because I'm a dramatic. I was a dramatic jerk. I was a very dramatic teen.
If I can't see what's under your hat, you need to die.
Now, I think back then, and it's crazy because how my like theories. We should talk about our personal Double D under hat theories because I have a couple I personally subscribe to. But
let's let's get into it. Now you mention it, I think I believe the prevailing theory, or I don't know if I believe it, but I know the most common one definitely was that he's just got like a big like crater, like he has some like thing going on with his head.
See, I think that's cool, but I think like I feel like that's so dramatic. See, I was just talking about drama. I feel like that's just like some insanity, like that he's got like a crater in his head, like a hole.
Yeah, that like his
and that's
head
the
is
prevailing theory.
That's my perception that was the prevailing theory, that he's just got like some malformed head.
See, and I've gotten like so deep into it though, because like
how deep does this rabbit hole go?
As deep as the hole in Double D's head, apparently. No, but I always kind of, well, not always, because when I was young and around the time of the baby's first fanfic, I was subscribing to the theory of him having very long hair, and I don't understand why I felt that way. And it was a very short-lived theory, at least in my personal belief system. I know a lot of people that's like they will die for that theory for some reason, but I completely disagree.
Well, I think maybe, I don't know, like there's something about the image of him taking off the hat and like whipping out this giant mane of hair.
Yeah, it's like Finn in Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the theories, but the one that I personally like, and I mean, I believe this to my core, and I feel like that this can't possibly be the real thing though, because it's too realistic, I guess, for Ed, and Eddy land. But I think that he has trichotillomania, where he anxiously pulls all his hair out.
Yeah, I believe that, but I don't. That does seem like something that they would not, like someone in the writers room would be like, hey, he's got the disease where you, or the thing where you pull your hair out, and just everyone's staring at the one writer like, no.
I mean,
why would we put that in a kid's show?
But I think that the thing is, the writers don't know what's under his hat because they just kind of like. They just kind of like, yeah, it's a joke. We never know. What? But like, if you think about it, if he were a real person, if he were like a real person, that's totally what it would be. Because I mean, as a fellow like OCD sufferer, anxiety haver.
Oh, he's constantly on edge.
Yeah, he's always on edge. He's always like kind of digging under there. He keeps things in there. He has like little bobby pins he keeps in there. So he definitely has some kind of hair that he's kind of pinning in.
Oh, that's an interesting tell. I forgot he's got the bobby pins.
Yeah, he takes bobby pins out. And then, like, I imagine that he, like, because he's really embarrassed by it, and then they think it's cool. And then there's one scene where Ed, like, walks through and he's like, I am dead from the neck up. And I think that it could look kind of like when someone dies and they still have little like hairs in their head. But like, this is not in any, so let me really quick clarify, this is in not any way me passing judgment on anyone who has trichotillomania.
No,
like,
not
let
at
me
all.
be perfectly clear. Like, one of my best friends ever struggles with it. And like, and I personally have dealt with dermatillomania, the skin version of it. And yeah, it fucking sucks. And if you are dealing with trichotillomania out there, like, stay tough. I know it's really difficult, but you can make it through it.
Oh, I've done the skin one before. That's a whole other.
That's a different podcast. That's
a whole other podcast.
The medicines.
Yeah, I was going to say that's for sawbones. We're not going to get into that. But changing gears for a second, you want to take a wild guess, and for all I know, you know the answer. But how long do you think Ed, and Eddy was on for?
Oh, God. I think I could probably tell you the exact dates. I am pretty sure it aired in 99 or 2000. I believe it was 99.
99, January 4th, 99.
And then it ran until 2000 and I would say 7 or 8.
This is going to blow your mind. November 8th, 2009.
Wow! So I guess I was 1 year off.
But that's still like 10 years. That's insane.
Because, I guess I was thinking about until when the movie came out. But I think that there were some episodes after the movie, huh?
See, now, I didn't see them. What was the movie about?
The movie's so good. Well, actually, no, there wouldn't have been episodes after the movie. The movie was the finale.
Yeah, that I do remember, yeah.
The movie was the finale. It's really good, and it wraps up the show perfectly, and it will make your heart feel good.
Really?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a really great movie. I've seen the movie a bunch of times, and if anyone out there who's an Ed, Edd and Eddy fan and hasn't seen the movie, watch the damn movie. It's great. You see Eddie's brother, and you see why Eddy is the way he is.
Oh, okay. So there's some like emotional core.
It's kind of heavy, actually, parts of the movie. Depending on how invested you are in Ed, Edd and Eddy, and I am very and I was up until like through college, I was really invested in Ed, Edd and Eddy and all the characters.
Well, because I think there's something to the idea that it's kind of a slacker show. And there weren't really a ton of cartoons of that style like that. Like, the slacker culture had been represented everywhere else. And then cartoons, it felt like Ed, Edd and Eddy came along and was very sort of suburban, you know, we don't know what to do with our day, like we're going to try and get in trouble kind of kids show.
But it wasn't slackers, though, because they had some fucking good work ethic, if you think about it.
That's true. That's true. They did have a good work ethic.
Any of those kids. The only issue is they were trying to, like...
Well, they were running scams.
They were running scams, and that's the problem. And then... But it's, like, all for kind of these reasons, because you find out as you watch the show, especially if you watch it, like, chronologically, you learn more and more about their personal lives, and all the kids come from these really rough homes, and it's really sad. Like, the three Eds.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the things I loved about it, is that you would get these slow reveals. Like, this is years before a show like Adventure Time would sort of put that kind of thing back on the map. And I don't think people talk about it with Ed, Edd and Eddy as much.
And also, I think it's important to reference, and, like, this is going to sound, okay, so this is going to sound like some fandom bullshit. I'm going to say it's not, because I personally believe that there are some queer coming of age coded things in there.
Yes. And absolutely.
Especially after Raven Malesi joined the team.
Okay, now explain that, because I don't know about that.
So Raven Malesi, she is an incredible storyboard artist. She's worked on a bunch of other shows. I think she's worked on My Little Pony, the Friendship is Magic thing, and she's also worked, I think, on Steven Universe now. Let me take a look and see what she's been on lately. But I know her. Yeah, she's been on Steven Universe most recently. And yeah, she was on My Little Pony. Yeah, Ed, Edd and Eddy, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and Steven Universe. And she's a really amazing, really, really amazing artist. And she hopped on as I think she ended up like climbing the ladder and being one of the like main storyboard artists. She did a ton of the boards for the movies. For the movie, and you can always like spot her boards because she draws these really like, I don't know, like these really like dynamic and like great faces and like body language, especially with Double D. I've noticed she and with Eddy, I think, and then that kind of comes into the thing where people might get mad at me for saying this, but Eddy is absolutely at least bisexual, probably gay.
Yeah, I could totally see what they're talking about, because when it comes to Eddy, he does have this sort of tell about him that, you know, if you really want to read into it, you know, I think I probably at some point have thought he's a queer character as well.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people would immediately go like, Jimmy's obviously the queer one because he's the femme one or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, sure, there's room for as many queer characters as we want, but I think that, like, you know, like, Jimmy could be queer, whatever. He could also, like, just be a soft guy with Sarah. Jimmy could also be a trans woman for all we know.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the Eds, and I firmly believe that Eddy's gay, and also I think that Eddy has a thing for Double D, but that also could go either way. But it's just because, and this is mostly coming from the movie, which you haven't seen, but in the movie they get, like, very close, or, like, their closeness kind of shows more, and I think Ed even kind of, like, comments on it about, like, yeah, I'm here. Like, but, it's just, like, sweet. The movie's really sweet. And I think that, like, the queerness started to really show once Raven Malesi joined, and I think she was pushing for it a bit. For whatever motive, I can't speak for her, but I think that Ed, Edd and Eddy holds a specific spot for a lot of queer artists and queer kids. for whatever reason, because I think there's just some subtle queer coding in there that just felt like correct.
Yeah, again, that goes back to everything on that show was, for as sort of loud and boisterous as it could be, it had a nice subtlety to it. There were always a lot of things done with a very deft hand. And I think if you're going to read into it as Eddy being queer, I absolutely buy it. Because I believe that if I were to go back and watch a lot of Ed, Edd, and Eddy and watch it, like you said, chronologically, the signs would be there. That you would be able to read that out of the show.
Yeah, and like, honestly, and you can feel a lot of his insecurities, and you could see where a lot of them are stemming from, and he has like a bad relationship with his father, and there's like, it's and this sounds like I'm reading into it a lot, but no, these are all like things that are explicitly stated, especially in the later seasons. It's crazy. Like, I'd say that Ed, Edd and Eddy's up there with like Hey Arnold in terms of shows that have a lot of unexpected heart and like relatability and diversity too.
Yeah, I would gonna say I would put it above Hey Arnold, but I think
I would disagree with that.
I would say Hey Arnold's a different kind of show at its heart.
That's true.
And Hey Arnold's for a completely different episode. But Ed, Edd and Eddy, I loved the subtlety about it. The things I love the most about it are also just the art style in general. The sound design. Oh my god, the sound design! But going back to the art style for a second, and this could dovetail right into sound, because the sound design absolutely complemented what they were going for. But the art style was really reminiscent. It was really reminiscent of that, like, high school doodling in your notebook, like both almost a tinge of that like squiggle vision style. Yeah,
like kind of like Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all hand inked too. All the old episodes of Ed, Edd and Eddy, it was all hand done, I think, with a brush.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's amazing. It's a piece of fucking art that not a lot of people appreciate, and it's just one of those shows where I guess when you first look at it, you're like, oh, this is a little weird. This is a little
right,
out of the ordinary, but it has such a unique style, and I personally find it so attractive. I think all the shapes it makes is really cool, and just the character designs are really interesting, and the way everything is kind of on model but also not. So
I like the actual motion of the characters in the show. Mm-hmm. The way they make characters walk and react, and
everyone has a different walk cycle.
When people would be freaked out, there's really great like freak out designs that they use in the show. Just so good.
It's like someone took Looney Tunes like tropes and then just redid all of it with their own voice.
Yeah.
And it's Canadian TV for you, let me tell you. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Ed, Edd and Eddy's a Canadian TV show.
Yeah, did we just blow your mind?
Yeah, it's imported. It's not an American TV show. It's from Canada, aka was based in Canada, and also all the voice actors were like anime voice actors as well.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if anyone watched, was it Cardcaptor Sakura, which I never really watched, but I just knew this piece of trivia. My buddy loves Cardcaptor Sakura though, but a bunch of the voice actors in Cardcaptor Sakura are the Eds. The main Eds, like legit Ed, and Eddy, the voice actors, and God, yeah, there's just a lot of little tidbits.
Oh yeah, I'm looking up right now. Like they've had cameos in several other shows.
Oh yeah, and Foster's,
Billy and Mandy, codename Kids Next Door.
I miss when Cartoon Network just kind of threw everyone into each other's shows, but they're still doing that now. I watched the first episode of Craig of the Creek, and there was a little Steven Universe cameo in there. It was cute.
Oh my god, how's Craig in the Creek?
It's great! It's really cute.
Oh man, I've been looking forward to that. I gotta check that out.
Yeah. It's one of those shows where, like, it's very cute, and it's kind of like Ed, Edd and Eddy meets Hey Arnold in some ways. I would say there's an Ed, Edd and Eddy-ness to it, where it's like kids getting into hijinks outside.
I love this fun fact. In 2004, the Eds appeared in a short series of basketball commercials with NBA All-Star Steve Francis.
Redo Space Jam.
Yeah. Oh, God. They should. I would love to do that. I would love to see that. The Ed, and Eddy Space Jam crossover movie. The show was featured in the 2002 edition of Cartoon Network's fictional award program, the first 13th annual Fancy Anvil Awards show.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I was like
I don't know
mentally present for that, because like I was definitely watching Cartoon Network, but that was probably one of the things where I was like, this is dumb, and turned it off.
well, get this. It won Best Performance by an Inanimate Object in a Dramatic Role for the character of Plank.
Well, can I make a jump off from Plank for a second?
Yes.
Because Plank is an iconic character, I think we can all agree. And I think that the only
no
thing
arguments here, yeah.
as iconic as Plank is his song. My best friend, Plank. And then Incredible Shrinking Day and all the Cartoon Network groovies, which are like its own episode on itself.
Oh,
please.
My God. Let's do next episode. Well, let's not even say what
let's
next
not
episode.
Say next episode. Well, at some point we got to do something with Cartoon Network groovies, because Incredible Shrinking Day was like my brain had been changed. Like I saw that, I thought this is the coolest shit. The way that it was done, even if it was a different art style, because I was a little bummed that it wasn't in the normal Ed, and Eddy art style. But it looks really cool still, and the song's really good, and everything's good, and I just love it. And I watch it a ton as an adult, and I like search for it, and I think I can play the song on ukulele. Like, I'm not coming in anymore. It's like, it's just good old, it's just good. Yeah.
Oh, there. I'm gonna link to that in the description.
Don't make them listen to that anymore.
Yeah.
But it's so good, and
I love that art style though.
I know, I love all of it. I just love everything. It's Ed, and Eddy. Ed, and Eddy has so much emotional weight for me. Like I had a really, really strong friendship in college based around Ed, and Eddy, among other things, and it was just really formative. I identified with the characters in Ed, and Eddy more than like pretty much any other TV show characters. And then also, if you're a kid who likes Ed, and Eddy, or liked Ed, and Eddy when you were a kid, a good logical next step as an adult is probably to watch Trailer Park Boys.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it has the same fucking feeling. It's like the same show.
It absolutely. Oh my God. Oh God, it is the same show.
It's the same fucking show. But don't go say like which one's Ed, which one's Eddy, which one's
don't do that.
None of them are. No. It's the same format. Except it's for grown-ups, and like
now I want animated Trailer Park Boys adventures in the Ed, and Eddy style.
I'm shocked no one's done that yet. I'm shocked I haven't done it yet. Actually, I'm not going to do anything.
You should absolutely do Trailer Park Boys artwork in the Ed, and Eddy style.
I probably will, or at least after this episode, someone's finally going to and save me the trouble.
Everyone listening to this, in the comments, demand Trailer Park Boys artwork in the style of Ed, and Eddy.
You can commission someone who draws the Ed, and Eddy style to do it.
Commission Mady.
Not me. Don't commission me because I'm not as good. There are other artists. And if you want to find them, you can write to me. I have to like look up their current usernames, but I have.
Well, commission Mady anyway. Give them all your money.
Well, that is fine. but there are other people who can draw Ed, and Eddy style way better than me. In fact, I had a friend in college try and teach me how to do it.
Speaking of style, can we all agree, all being the two of us, that Ed, and Eddy style icons?
Mm-hmm.
Those outfits are mwah.
Ugh, so good. Ed's outfit, his big stinky jacket. We're talking about stinky hat. Stinky hat. If you watch Ed, and Eddy, you'd get that.
Which, if you don't get it, hey, it's just an excuse to go watch Ed, and Eddy.
From the episode where where Ed had his cheese friend, his piece of cheese he would carry in his pocket, and Double D was so upset about it, and he was like, "How can you be having a stinky cheese in your pocket?" And then Ed just keeps refuting him, saying he has a stinky hat. It's just like dumb shit like that, just so fun, and they would actually sit on those jokes and like let you. The pacing was so good, and then we gotta just quickly before we move on to Courage, because it's about that time. The sound design. Let's just have a moment, because Courage also had great sound design, but Ed, and Eddy, the like barnyard sounds and
great like wacky sound design.
Like I can't even like. No one has done something like that ever. And, like, no one can achieve that again. And then also the fucking Canker sisters. Like, this could just be an episode only about Ed, and Eddy. Like, because the Canker sisters are really unique female characters at the time, because they were, like, girl characters who were allowed to be
strong.
They were tough, they were gross, and, like, they weren't, like... They were different looking, but they weren't, like, quote-unquote, like, ugly. Like, they weren't, like, uglier than any of the other characters.
Right. They were very...
If anything, Marie is, like, everyone thinks Marie is hot, so...
Right.
But, like, the Cankers were so unique. Everything was so good. Ugh. And then Rolf was really cool. I loved Rolf so much. And then... I just want to mention another piece of trivia real quick about Rolf. Rolf was actually based on the show's creator. It was based on Danny Antonucci.
Oh, yes. I think I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he came from a really, like, old world Italian family. And so he was, like, always eating, like, things that people didn't, like, understand and getting kind of goofed on for being the weird, like, dark, like, foreign kid.
Right.
And so that's where Rolf came from, even though his accent's a little more like Scandinavian sounding in some ways, but like his original concept came from old world Italy, which is kind of cool. And
they never like overdid it with Rolf. They never like.
I don't think so, personally.
No, it wasn't like I know like people were talking because that documentary came out about Apu and The Simpsons recently.
It was such a good documentary. We actually watched over Thanksgiving.
It was really good, and I'm glad that Hank Azaria had a good response to it, that he kind of agreed, from what I understand.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
Oh, no, his response was awful.
Oh, was it? Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I lost a ton of respect for Hank Azaria after that. It's a huge bummer.
Oh, my God, no.
He, avoided the question the whole time and was like... just watch the documentary for yourself. The documentary is a really great experience, and it explains a lot. And just
I had read an article that was like led me to believe that his reaction to it was like, yes, I agree. Like maybe we thought these things in the past, but like we should change now. And
oh God, no. What? That article is bullshit because that's not what he said in the documentary. In the documentary, he spent most of the time like trying not to make a statement.
Oh, that's that bums me out.
Oh, so yeah. Much. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, it really stinks. And like I said, just watch the documentary, and it has a lot of like really important South Asian perspectives on just all kinds of media. It's a great piece. It's really good.
Yeah, so you got homework. You go watch that. You go watch Ed, and Eddy.
Yeah.
Go watch the Ed, and Eddy movie.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
And while you guys do that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage.
Did you burp?
No, I said courage really quiet.
Oh, you like burped and said courage as you were burping.
Courage. I wish I could do that.
We'll be back.
Sun's up, I hit the floor. Shoes tied, I'm out the door. This is a clean shirt, I think it was one yesterday. Free day, I'm on my own. No plans, I got myself on. I call my boys up, spend a little time outside the day. Never like being in when I gotta be. Never like being told who I gotta see. I like no commitments growing up around me. I'm not coming in anymore. Everything I want is just outside this door. I'm not coming in anymore. Got too many friends on the outside that don't include you. Go ahead, make what's mine. All my friends got angles and insight, and all kind of facts and probabilities. You say we lack rhyme or reason. I say we're meant for all seasons. You scream with endless possibilities. Spend a lot of time trying to convince me. My friends are two strikes against me. Well, I swing for the fences, so that must make strike three. That's fine by me. I'm not coming in anymore. Well, everything I want is just outside the door. Well, I'm not coming in anymore. Got too many friends on the outside that don't include you. Don't include you. Nothing ever seems right like it does when it's not playing in the right speed, cooking in the right pot. I like things familiar and I don't belong here. Don't belong here. I'm not coming in anymore. Everything I want and need is just outside this door. I'm not coming in anymore. Got too many friends on the outside, plans on the outside. Don't include you.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Which for us was like half a second.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Like.
But you heard a song that will be determined later and that you can see in the description if you'd like to check out more of whatever that thing was that you just heard. But right now... But right now, we're going to talk about Courage the Cowardly Dog, another Cartoon Network cartoon favorite, and rightfully so. Mady, what's the deal with Courage?
Oh, boo boo! Oh, boo boo boo! That's the deal.
Oh
my god, that was good! Oh, that's another show. John Dilworth. I believe he taught classes at SVA as well, which is something I'm jealous I never got to take his class because I didn't go to SVA. But he's a very great and unique artist, and Courage was scary as shit.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah,
I love it, and it's so good. What are some of your favorite moments or episodes of Courage?
Oh my god, the one that always stands out that like legitimately freaked me out is the Return the Slab.
King Ramsay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's CGI when you don't expect it. It's like, and it was when CGI was like really new. So,
right, so it was like bad. It was like it wasn't bad CGI. It was like we know we can't do really.
It was primitive
stuff. It was primitive, but like they were smart enough to know what to do with it.
Yeah, they used it really well, and I think one of the reasons why it worked really well is because a lot of the backgrounds in Courage used photographs.
Yeah.
Or instead of filling in and painting textures, they used photographs that they had taken or like manipulated, so you got a lot of this weird uncanny valley-ness to it.
Oh, the skies! A lot of the sky effects in Courage were like really freaky.
And the ground effects, just a lot of the textures. I think every texture was like a photograph texture, it just made it look really like I said, like uncanny valley, and I think that's what aided to a lot of the horror.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put most of Courage. Is it fell very much right in the center of uncanny valley.
It was less like horror and more just really off-putting, but in that fun way.
Yeah, it's like how Twin Peaks isn't necessarily horror, but is like more frightening than any horror movie.
Yeah, it's just that unsettling kind of like, ugh.
Like, what was the episode where he just like opens a random door and there's like a blue creature in there that says "You're not special"?
Ugh, it's just like weird shit. Yeah, and then the computer, his like computer that would talk and like would berate him. And all that shit. And then there was Doc Gerbil. That's the one that I remember the most.
Oh my god,
it's that good body horror one.
Yeah. Yeah, they had that Invader Zim thing going on where like they did not shy away from like body horror in a kids show.
Yeah, Doc Gerbil and Dark Harvest in Invader Zim which honestly we should probably be doing. I'd say maybe February might be a good time to do Zim.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. I guess we'll have to find out in February.
Guess I'll have to save my money and find out.
Mm-hmm. Guess we'll have to figure it out.
Guess we'll have to put two and two together and
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what could happen. But they really like took some leaps as far as like what kids could handle. And it's one of those things that I miss a lot about cartoons today. I wish that there was more kind of like Over the Garden Wall got kind of close to it.
Yeah. But there's really nothing like Courage before or since. And that's one of the shows that they have talked about maybe bringing back, but I don't know if it would be the same.
Pardon the pun, but let sleeping dogs lie. Like we all saw what happened with The Simpsons. You know, just shows that don't. You have to let a show have a dignified death. Right. You can't be bringing back instead of bringing back old material, let's make new material that's inspired by old material and be creative and create new things. Yeah. Because honestly, whose favorite part of Cartoon Network was Hanna-Barbera cartoon remakes? Like, I mean, really. Let's be real. You know, and what's this now more than like trying to bring back all like redoing Scooby-Doo and all that shit. Yeah. To be fair though, the new Scooby-Doo was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but like whose favorite season of Dexter's Lab is the like couple years where they rebooted it?
Yeah, and then like honestly, and you know, there might be some strong opinions, for lack of a better word, on this show, but to be clear, we're not like shitting on any of the artists who work on these things.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, because as an artist, you have very little individual control over the projects you work on. This is more about sort of what's getting funded and where these artists are being put to work, rather than like the work that the artists are creating. Because like the new Powerpuff Girls shouldn't have existed, frankly.
Right, but the art is perfectly fine. Well, I mean, in terms of the people working behind the scenes to create it,
I think that it's one of those shows that a lot of those here. Let me put it like this. I'll do a gentle generalization. A lot of the shows, the reboots, a lot of care gets placed in the wrong areas. Let me put it that way, where you don't see as much care put onto finessing the characters or creating like well-rounded stories. A lot of it is more about trying to recreate whatever kind of nostalgia that is assumed exists.
No, because you can't recapture that magic.
Like, yeah, people are spending a lot of effort trying to recapture the magic rather than creating an interesting show. So you get a lot of like how with the new Powerpuff Girls, there was a lot of weird like fakey, memey stuff and like twerky things, like trying really hard to like be relevant.
Oh God, twerky things?
Oh yeah, you can just Google it. It's not my job.
I am not going to Google Powerpuff Girls twerking.
Yeah, it's not good. But see, the like decisions like that aren't necessarily made by the artists.
Right.
You know, it's marketing decisions, and then a lot of the times in newer cartoons, you get a lot of the marketing decisions holding more weight rather than artistic ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, a lot of these shows that come back, you can't, you know, it's very rare that you can bring a show back, and one, the demand for it is just as high as when it left, and two, you're going to get the exact same writing team back, and then the storyboard artists and the animators, like, to get it, like, it's what I said, it was a place and a time, and you can't upheave a place and time and bring it to the future.
But also those people, even if you got those same people, their sphere of influence would have changed. Right. Their styles could have changed. Like, because people are talking about with new SpongeBob, now Steven Hillenburg's back on. And I'm really interested to see some, because I still haven't seen any of the episodes, the newer ones that he's worked on, but I don't think that that's going to bring back the old SpongeBob. Because, you know, like, the deed, as Mr. Krabs would say, the deed is done.
Yeah.
But back to Courage. I wouldn't object to a film, like a movie.
I'd be down with a film.
I just don't know what they could bring to it. That's the thing. It was just, we can always go back and watch what exists. It's not going to disappear, and it'll still be good. You know.
Yeah, they're always going to live in that little shack in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Like, we always know that whenever you want to visit, they're always in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, that's
speaking of sound design in a show,
the intro. So let me just say, I know the intro completely by heart, and it is actually one of the things that when I was starting testosterone, a lot of people who go on HRT will like specifically transmasculine people will document their vocal transition. And so as I was documenting my first vocal drops, I would recite the Courage the Cowardly Dog theme and record myself saying it.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. So like there's a bunch of recordings of me somewhere going like, we interrupt this program to bring you Courage the Cowardly Dog show. Stopping Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I could do the whole thing, but it would like, I just feel like it would be boring.
Make a good ringtone.
Yeah. We interrupt whatever you're doing to give you a phone call.
But yeah, like going back to like great sound design, like the voices on that show. Oh my God.
They're bizarre, and like the Courage's laugh. I can't even do it where it's like
it's like that it's like that early Eddie Murphy laugh.
I guess I just don't think that there's another laugh that works, and then you got to have the hole in the tooth.
Yeah,
this big hole in his tooth. I'm convinced part of his laugh sound comes from that hole in his tooth.
But like, I feel like they take a lot of inspiration from like subverting a lot of Americana, like 50s tropes, like radio announcers, like, you know, the fact that it is sort of an old style shack in the middle of the country, or, you know, the desert country.
Well, they had like the old, like little psychic lady, like a lot of like classic
traveling circus.
Yeah. Circusy, just like classic, I would say classic American horror stuff. And then also like weird shit. But if you're talking about Americana, I don't think anything really competes with the quilting episode.
Oh, please describe the quilting episode.
Oh man, because there's an episode where these ladies, there's like these evil sisters, and they're they do like a quilting club, and Muriel wants to be part of this quilting club, and they end up like sewing her into this like evil like soul quilt. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a really creepy episode, and it's really well done, and it's really beautiful, like the way the quilt is designed and the motifs of it. And it's more of that like haunting, like old Americana, old rural Americana environment. It's so cool. Like stuff like this is so cool. We need more shows like this.
Yeah, more shows where you get sewn into a quilt.
Yeah, more like creepy stuff like this. I love it. It's ugh. And as a kid, it influenced me so much, and it's one of the big reasons why I love horror the way I do.
Oh, yeah, because if you're a kid and you watch that, and then, you know, all your friends are like, hey, we're going to go see the latest, you know, Saw movie, or Friday the 13th, or whatever the big sort of quote-unquote, you know, mainstream or basic horror movie is, it's just not going to do it for you anymore. Like,
well, I also I never was interested in those kinds of movies when I was young. Like as an adult, I love Scream. It's so fun, it's so silly. But as a kid, there was something like, and I'm talking like as a little kid, because these were around. I think Courage came out a little earlier, right?
I'm gonna
I would assume
check on my phone.
98, maybe.
Let me see.
Late 90s, still.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Let's go to it.
No, but it was around, I think, before SpongeBob, and SpongeBob was 99.
I think so. Here, let me go to the wiki.
Because I remember when SpongeBob was, like, being announced, and I kept seeing commercials for it. It was a huge deal, and I kept seeing commercials for it, and I was like, I need to catch this show. This show looks so great.
Because the year before they did the same thing with Cat Dog, they hyped that up, too.
I loved Cat Dog as a kid. Oh, my God. And I feel like I'm the only person who did.
Oh, no, I loved Cat Dog.
That's another one.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that first episode where they try and get all the free food.
Oh, yeah, same. Food. I've seen that so many times. I didn't know that was the first episode. I always think about Lube, like the greaser dog Lube, when I baked my hand inside a loaf of blueberry bread. That's like the line that just like gets me every time. I don't know why.
So Courage started very slightly just before Ed, Edd, and Eddy, November 12th, 1999.
Oh, it was 99 again. 99 was just the year.
It really was. To 2002, November 22nd, 2002.
That's criminally short. I guess it did only have 2 seasons or so, or 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah. How many episodes? Let me see.
Not that many.
It had 52 episodes, but 102 segments.
Okay.
That's fair.
Is that more or less than The Critic?
Oh, I don't know. The Critic is a whole other show we should do.
That's one we should do with Jay, also.
Yeah.
He's the one who got me into The Critic.
Critic is definitely...
Critic is of the same time period, but more for adults.
Yeah. It had that great, like, Art Deco, New York hoity art style.
Great. The humor was great. But, actually, I know that this isn't the cat dog episode, but I need to put this piece of trivia out because it was something that I didn't realize until like way later. Mm-hmm. So like we all know that dog is voiced by Tom Kenny and cat's voiced by Jim Cummings. If you don't know who Jim Cummings is, he's the guy who did Pete like in the Goofy movie. Mm-hmm. He's in OKKO now.
Oh,
Box Man. Yeah. I haven't seen enough of it. I really love OKKO, but I believe it's Jim Cummings. Yeah, Jim Cummings. He's great. It says he was in Aladdin. Oh yeah, he played Tigger. That's it. He played a bunch of like Disney characters. He's very good. But the voice actress for Shriek is the one, the only Maria Bamford.
Oh my God, Lady Dynamite.
Can you believe it? Maria fucking Bamford was Shriek, and I can completely believe it. Because I remember watching the show recently and being like, Shriek's voice sounds like somebody, and I don't know who. Like, it sounds like Shriek, and then I was like, "Fuck, it's Maria Bamford!"
Yeah, once you find out, it's one of those moments where once you find out it's Maria Bamford, like your head zooms back to like all the times in your life you were trying to figure out who this person was.
Well, it's like when I realized that the singing voice for the other father in Coraline was John Linnell, and that his fucking voice actor was John Hodgman.
I know, 2 of my favorite Johns.
No, it's like two of the best Johns that exist.
I gotta get his new book, Vacation Land. I've been sleeping on that.
John Hodgman is a good. He was an early crush of mine.
Oh, absolutely, me too. He's the deranged millionaire.
He was the PC guy, the cute chubby PC guy.
Yes, he absolutely was. I loved him, though. I fell in love with him through his books. The More Information Than You Require, and That Is All.
Here, we're talking about voices and comedians. Who voiced Courage?
Oh, yeah. Let me
look that up. Yeah.
Let's
see. Well, John Dilworth made it, and then...
Marty Grabstein?
Who's Marty Grabstein? What else has he done?
Let me see.
Who's in Wonder Chosen?
He looks like a guy named Marty Grabstein.
Guess what? Jim Cummings is on Courage. Cat Thief #1.
Cat Thief #1. That's perfect.
Cat Thief #1. Lionel G. Wilson as Eustace Bagg.
Oh wow.
He was in a lot of old stuff.
Apparently, Grabstein used a combination of paranoia and panic to make the voice of Courage authentic. In the first season of the cartoon, he actually said many spoken words as Courage, but for the rest of the series, Courage had far fewer lines and spoken words. Grabstein did almost all of its talking by gibberish and mumbling.
Yeah, because he would go like, like make those noises, but it makes a lot. It makes sense, though, because A, he's a dog, B, he's fucking scared as shit about everything that's going on. Oh, shit, Eustace and Muriel had 2 actors. Cass Sosie did... Really?
What?
No way. Cass Sosie was Muriel for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
She was in she was really, really famous. I don't know if a lot of people know her by name necessarily, but she was Phil and Lil in Rugrats, as well as their mom. She was Lola in Space Jam. She's in a lot of shit. She was in Dexter. I think she was Dexter.
Have you seen, apparently, there was a Courage the Cowardly Dog CGI special?
I refuse that. I can't do that. That doesn't sound right.
In 2014?
Ew.
Is this on YouTube? I'm looking this up right now. This is
that.
bananas.
I don't want that. Oh, she was in Zootopia. She played Nick when he was young in Zootopia. But I don't remember.
A 7-minute thing.
It was like a second, yeah.
Actually, I'm not against this CGI art style. This is not terrible.
Also, I think she was not notable in Dexter. Who played Dexter now? Oh, Christine Cavanaugh. Oh, Cass Soucy. Yeah, what the fuck? Who would she... Sorry, I'm on, like, the damn...
I'm on the damn internet.
The damn internet. I have to find out who plays everybody.
I'm on the damn internet, Bobby.
God. Bobby, damn it. She played the mom. Duh. She played Dexter's mom. Oh, she was on Ed, and Eddy. Oh, no, she wasn't. That doesn't make sense.
Now we're just looking up people.
I know. But that's what happens. So this is the authentic cartoon lovers experience where you go and like you find out who voices everybody because there's like all the people who...
It really is.
Yeah. It's great.
God, Stephen Bloom was Wolverine and the Toonami guy? Like...
Stephen Bloom, he's in everything.
Yeah.
like every time. Like Jay will point him out all the time.
Well, because he's got that like distinct like baritone voice.
He's such a. Ugh.
Yeah,
he's so iconic. He's just like, here he is. It's Spike. Here he comes. It's Spike. Which is, everyone's favorite Cowboy Bebop theme song. Here it is. Here he is. It's Spike. Time to kick.
I'm looking up screenshots of Courage right now. It's reminding me of so many episodes that I'd forgotten about. Like, there's a screenshot I'm looking at where it's his tongue, and it's like this diseased purple tongue with like a face.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I love it. It's my son now, and you can't have it.
Oh, so also we were talking about Cartoon Network Groovies. Eustace, Muriel, somebody get the door.
I love that They Might Be Giants. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, They Might Be Giants. So that's another thing with John Linnell once again. Oh my God! No one cared who I was until I put on the mask. I don't remember this. I'm looking at this. There's like a doll face. I don't remember this episode at all. It's like a baby girl face mask, and there's like a monster drinking in it. God, it's weird. God, this show is so bananas.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Quilt Sisters right now too, and that's like a great.
They're creepy, right? They're so
design.
creepy. God, it was such a good show. It was so weird. Jesus. Oh my God, there's a picture of young Muriel. Like real from the show. She looks the same, she just has brown hair. God, this art is so good. Oh, and the Storm Goddess. Because the thing is, in Courage, there was also like a lot of pretty. There were like be pretty characters too. They could make things look really pretty, also.
They just had great art design. Like the, I like that they went for a lot of characters with like the big body and like teeny tiny thin legs.
It's, and also like drawing the skinny spaghetti arms and legs. It's really hard to get consistency. To be fair, like they look like sticks, but you have to nail those parallels, or else it's gonna look janked and not good. Oh God! Holy shit! I think there was a Fantastic Planet reference.
What?
Peep this image. So for those listening at home, I'm describing this alien girl, which I remember seeing. Honestly, I remember seeing on the show, but I never, I guess, put it together. Tulip.
Okay, let me see this. Oh my God!
Yeah, there's this like blue alien girl.
That
who's like giant and holding like tiny people.
That is absolutely Fantastic Planet.
That's Fantastic Planet for sure. See, like, but looking at all these shows now as an adult, and when you've, especially as an adult who's seen a lot of, oh yeah, there were 4 seasons, by the way, of Courage. But as an adult who is interested in cartoons and animation and, you know, drawing, it's crazy to like uncover all the little influences and hidden references. There's so much shit. It's like a gold mine.
I'm looking at a picture from Courage, and it's like a banana man. Like a Scottish banana man. It's I love it. I need to watch.
Because I think I like, you think you've seen a ton of Courage, and then you realize like there's so much that you've missed.
Yeah, or that like you've blocked out because it's too frightening.
Or just like you don't remember because there's so much of it and it's so weird.
Oh man, I remember. Remember the pilot episode where it was like all the chickens?
Oh god, the episode that scared the shit out of me as a kid is with the chicken who the headless like cooked chicken guy.
Yeah. Oh my god,
that scared the shit out of me. God,
as it should, as it should.
God, there's so much they did so much gross shit.
I know. God bless Courage.
God bless Courage.
God bless John Dilworth.
Honestly, I wonder. Oh yeah. So, if you're a fan of Courage and interested in seeing more stuff, you should look at one of John Dilworth's student films. I think it's called Dirty Birdie.
I love it already.
Or Dirty Bird. Let me see.
Dirty Birdies?
Is it Dirty Birdies or Dirty Birdie? It's Dirty Birdie.
The Dirty Birdie. Oh, I love it already.
It's simple, but the art style is so good, and it's just it's pretty crazy. So if you have time to watch it at some point, it is something I would for sure.
I was just skipping frames of the video, and I know where it's just like the Grim Reaper shows up. So of course.
Oh, he re-edited it and restored it in 2016. So I have to go watch that.
Ooh. God, this is wacky. This short reminds me of like the Wacky Deli bit from Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh God, yeah. It's a lot like Wacky Deli. I would say it has a feeling like that in some ways, where it's just like so out of left field, kind of. Well, I mean, it's been an hour.
I know.
I think we covered a lot. We always kind of breeze through it, huh?
I know, but I love these 2 shows.
They're so good.
They are, and with all of that, you know, first off, I think we should thank people for listening, because it was I don't know about you, but it was a big surprise to me, like, just how many people checked out the first episode.
Yeah, honestly, thank you so much. Like, for having 1 episode of this out, the turnout was pretty amazing. And yeah, I hope y'all stick around, because we enjoy making this and talking about stuff, and I don't know, just knowing people care about what we're saying and what we're talking about. And
yeah, do it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That was the thing that shocked me last time. Like 20 people subscribed in a day.
That's so cool. Thank you guys so much. Jesus, like really, it's really neat. I hope that we are bringing new ideas or perspectives to the table too, because I know like how many podcasts are out there of like 2 white guys talking about cartoons.
I know. Like, well, I think
at least I'm trans.
Yeah. Well,
at least we're like queer white guys.
Well, I think it's different in that when I tell people like what we're up to, like, oh, these are some of the ideas we're tossing around for episodes. It's got that like nostalgia factor to a lot of people of like, oh my god, I remember those shows. But I think there's like a good way of packaging it too, where it's like 2 episodes, where it's like you're getting 2 topics. Well,
it's like the old cartoons. We get 2 episodes in an episode.
Yeah, but like they kind of make sense together. Like Ed, and Eddy and Courage make sense together because
They're both
cartoon
weird.
yeah, they're both cartoons and weird. Akira and Totoro made sense, and who knows?
Who could think of anything more alike?
Yeah, but who knows what we're going to talk about next?
Who knows? Who fucking knows? But expect to have some. I would guess guests. Like I would definitely want to bring my partner Jason on here for a couple.
Yeah,
because he's also interested in cartoons, and I think that he would have some fun input. Plus, he's good.
Yeah. And with all of that said, you got anything to plug? What are you working on? I'm
just working. I can't really talk about much yet, but yeah, I don't know. Something might happen in February. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Valentine's Day, perhaps. Maybe it'll come this year. Maybe it won't.
Who knows? But as always, thank you so much for listening. We had a great time talking about this schnit.
Yeah, if people want to check you out, where can they find you?
I'm on pretty much all the main social media guys as Mady G Comics, MADYG Comics, as in comic books. And where can they find you, Vin?
Well, I could be find I could be on the Twitter at Mighty Vin. I do a podcast called Anytime of Vin Forte. The holiday special is coming up Friday the 22nd. That's going to be really fun. So everyone check that out. It's also on iTunes and Stitcher and everywhere that good, wholesome podcasts are, I was going to say sold, but, well, I mean, you can buy a podcast, but...
I mean, we're not monetizing this
no.
or like advertising or anything, because word of mouth is the best word.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And also, like, this is just kind of us getting our nerdness out.
Yeah, this is just an excuse, this podcast, to just, like, hang out and talk about animation.
Yeah, and maybe... I don't know, maybe inspire some people to watch some old stuff, or some stuff they haven't seen, or some younger people to watch some stuff that we grew up with.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
People, as much as, you know, especially in the world of animation, you know, we would like everyone to pay for things. The truth remains and the reality remains that if you do want to check a lot of stuff out, it's there. You could find it.
Well, I know that if you stream stuff, I know Hulu's got a lot of cartoons up right now, a lot of the old cartoons. So if you want to
Courage,
keep that. Yeah. And just check your favorite streaming platforms. Check libraries, goddammit. Check your local fucking library.
It's there for a reason. Get your library card out.
Also, thrift stores.
Yeah.
For sure. I got my copy of Aqua Teen Hunger Force Season 3 secondhand.
There you go.
So, you know, just get creative.
It works. At the bottom line, you know, you can get everything for free if you want, but that's up to you, but you really should support the artists that you like.
Yeah. And you know, even if it's getting commissions from those artists, cuz you know, who knows, maybe you know, I know that, like, there are plenty of artists, like old Ren and Stimpy artists who are still taking commissions and things like that. Like, I'm sure you can do some digging if you wanted some original art, too.
Yeah, my experience has been, like, most artists that you like, I think there's this kind of stigma of, like, oh, they're too big, or they probably don't do commissions. You would be very... Exactly. You would be very surprised who does commissions. Like, go do your digging. You'll be able to get something really cool.
If you like something, support the people who are making it. Basically, long story short, if you like something, support the person who's putting it out there. Because otherwise, and also if you like something, tell person that you like it. Because otherwise, they have no idea.
Yeah, that works.
Well, that's enough of sage advice, though. I'd say.
Yeah, that's enough advice. I'm Vin.
I'm Mady.
And we'll see you next month in the new year.
We'll see you next year.
See you next year. Oh, it's frightening. Oh.
Ooh. Ciao.
Oh.
Eustace, Muriel, somebody's at the door. Creepy, surreal, someone better get the door. Someone better get the door.
gonna get the door? Courage the cowardly dog. Courage the cowardly dog.
Something horrible wants to destroy our humble nowhere shack. Who will protect our home?
Someone protect our home. Who will protect our home? Courage the cowardly dog. Courage the cowardly dog. Courage the cowardly dog. Courage the cowardly dog.